There are two really powerful tools that we learned in our resistance training. And resistance is what you're talking about, resisting the fear of torture. Because oftentimes when you're trying to forcefully interrogate somebody, it's the fear of the unknown that makes them fall apart. It's not actually when they're getting slapped or getting punched. It's when they're sitting in the chair and they don't know what's coming next. And that's what really gets into your head. And that's part of the psychedelic or the psychological manifestation of torture in advance of physical torture.
Mm.
And that's exactly what you're saying, Ed, when you say that the world is caving in upon us. What that means, you can relate to the person who's sitting in the chair before the torture starts, where they're like, oh, what's coming next? The world is collapsing. I have no control. I don't know what's going to happen. That's that feeling. So the two main tools that they gave us to cope with that sort of situation, and I have used these countless times in my own business, man, because business is a wild rodeo of the world. The first is something called false dichotomy. False dichotomy. False dichotomy means you create a two scenario situation, right? False dichotomy, yes or no, on or off, red or green. You create a dichotomy. You force yourself to believe there's only two options. Even though there's countless options, you force yourself to believe two very fundamental options. Let me give you an example from business. I remember when I was first starting out, when I first quit my full-time job, when I first started being full-time with my own company, Everyday Spy, I knew that to keep my family afloat, I needed $4,000 a month to keep my family afloat. But I didn't know every month if I was going to make $4,000 a month. Some months I made 2,000, some months I made 10,000. I never knew where it was going to come from. So it would cause me great stress, and I would lose sleep at night, and I would wring my hands, and I would worry about, am I going to have to go find a job? Am I going to crash this business before it even takes off? So I applied this false dichotomy where I would tell myself, it's either going to live or it's going to die. That's it. The business is going to live or it's going to die, period. Once I said those are the two options, I had no control over those options. I didn't need to stay up at night worrying about, is this thing going to sell? Is that thing going to sell? Am I going to get this client? Is that client going to leave me? All of the what ifs went away because it's either going to live or it's going to die, the end.